a few days ago that Mercury trined my Mercury-Uranus conjunction, but it was squaring Neptune. Even though, see, now it was squaring Neptune, it was trying my Mercury-Uranus conjunction, and I had an experience that is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it has everything to do with that. Now we look into it. Thank God for astrology, because we can start pointing at the energy there that was available. The Gemini, which is 29 degrees, which is like the very last, it's the very, like, all of what Gemini represents, the huge bowl, until it tips over into a new evolutionary consciousness, like a whole way of holding that. And plus now we go into Cancer, right? We're going to have a very, very vigilant Cancerian season. And that's what I'm going to be lighting up, because it trines my Jupiter in Pisces. See, my Jupiter is kind of like the handle to the bucket there that moves all of this other planet. But I do the correct astrology that not the day, but the time of day that you were born, the very time that your mom said, ah! A lot of women are having organisms when they have their children, and hey, so it's different for a lot of people. It really depends. You can look at it, it's like, whoa, this is how that person. But anyway, getting back to this one day, babes, is very auspicious. See, now we're going to go into the sun in Cancer. It's really a time to feel the sun and feel the blossoms and the bees and everybody humming away at just mid-growth. See, Cancer points at the builders in life. They're the ones with the shell, right? The creature with the shell, and it's a good idea. See, it represents the home, the fourth house. It represents the home, domestics, moon ruled, and it points at our feelings. It's very important to talk about the Cancers who have been, man, talk about having been denied. See, over the last 14 or 15 years with Pluto in Capricorn, right, calls for everybody to just start looking at what makes us deny our feelings and stuff. Well, it's money. Money. Well, what is it really? You're scared shitless that you're going to starve to death. And now it's a big survival game, and who cares about, especially about each other? And that should be like, halt, game over, not worth it. Learn how to live. Go and make your food. Find out how to live. What you have somebody else doing your food for you? Oh my God, it's centralized to just one pinch off or feed? Dangerous situation that we're heading towards. We're already in a dangerous situation. Already very dangerous. What they don't like is people living and self-sustaining, and they talk about it, and really it's a war against it. That's what the climate change is. Like, well, we're just going to have to announce a constant war on you with just one army. Cool. And what is that, all of that? Like, especially up in the rurals, you'd have people tossing asphalt around and eyeballing each other just because they've lived here longer and they've done it better than you. Well, that's too bad. Nobody can do money better than you people, I swear. I mean, it's who wants to go down that low? Okay, let's go back to today. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. With that moon, with the Gemini planets, it's like it's our communications, and it's like, wow. Thank God that there was a lot that we've gone through with these transits, with the Gemini and how it squared Saturn, and then now we're doing the last of the gaslighting. It's not good. I was trying to tell you, it is not good. There is deception across the board happening. And if you're lucky, you have some love in your life. If you're lucky, you are able to discern who's on your side and who isn't. Tell me your birthday, and I'll bother to make a video, a half an hour, just talking about what I can depict. Just let's talk about where all the planets are, how they're affecting you particularly. I would go into just a meditative study. I look at the full range. Is there a question you have, like about relationship, money, everything? It's pitiful. That's what most people want to know about, right? And relationship, money. It's like, which one do you want? A relationship, or do you want to go for money? Because you cannot blend both. Haven't you noticed that? In fact, organism out there eating popcorn, hopefully it's non-GMO, money and decent human associations. See, money is what happens when that has failed. That when you have failed the know-how to live with each other in harmony, based in what there are truths that you should follow pretty darn closely. And I did say should. In the word should, let me tell you people right now, in the word should, souls here. There are souls. You want a soul, right? Well, listen to a human being. Listen to one who's well on their way to graduating into soul, which is just nothing big, babes. It's just the universe. It's like whatever, you know. Did you have any good ideas here? Really, they're not your ideas. Can you work a golf ball through a gutter if it was the truth and it was that easy to just feel it and say, yay, did it, eureka, and it makes you buoyant now. I mean, really, because money isn't really doing that. You're so off track with that. And I'm sorry, but yeah, I know it's out there, it's going on, it's chugging away, you know. There's a lot that we need to stop in the rural areas because money says that it's a great idea to do it. I'm here, like, hey, I'm in their advertising. It's like, would you fucking space people, whatever you are? I think they're not space people. Space people to me are loving people. What's here on this planet? Welcome to Shauna's Sci-Fi. I hope you appreciate it, but I'm not making this up, babes. There's entity that's stuck here. There's a lot of, you can call them souls that are stuck here, but it's just the organism that is. It's like, okay, now if there was a university, intelligence, whatever it is, I don't know, something washing itself, and few are making it out saying, phew, that was a joke. Can I go to the place that I know that love can provide if we just surrender to? It's just the truth. And bring it up, be with it instead of believing it. Instead of beliefs, be withs. That's one thing I wanted to start talking about too, much more clear than anything else, to help. It's 80% of the population who's struggling with the mind, teeter-tottering. They do not know the difference between that and the other, and you have to be careful of these types. There's a way to kind of tap dance around it, because they're kind of tap dancing anyway. They're doing a headdress tap dance around the truth, and you have to be upfront and frank with these people, right? That's usually the way you handle your narcissist, and they're no fun for that matter. They don't have a good imagination. They're stuck in, and if I would dare say what's stuck in the backdrop, that's just a backdrop that says, and you know, it's weird because a lot of people would say, you know, this is what you're supposed to do. No, you don't rely on your relationships. No, don't rely on it, on being a decent human association. What you do, dummy, is you go and fix your finances. You go and make money. You're not making any money, are you? That's why you're having trouble in your relationship. No. You're having trouble in relationships when it fails, when you cannot you cannot get on the same page about something is interfering to the point where there is the system for you to just say, fuck it, I'll do this. I'm going to hunker down over here, have my TV dinner. This is the way it's going to be, and now what am I going to do next? Because none of that shit works, but I can work this. I can work the black and white number system, and what can I do with that? And just, it's a huge distraction. Now none of you get along, and it's fucking, let me tell you what it is. It's fucking sick. What are we going to do? What do you think the answer is? There's a whole generation right now that needs to fucking pull their heads up out of their asses and regroup. And I'm here to help us with our language. We can simplify it, and more I'm going to do that. More and more, babes. You have to understand, see, I'm doing this work for you. You have to find a way to appreciate it. I would do your astrology to find out exactly, like, okay, how is this Neptune affecting you right now? Are you going through the thick of knowing that there is just complete and total deception across the board, that it's so thick now, and we're going to have a moment, believe it or not, with all of this, and it's actually just clarity, especially with Neptune and Pisces. That's all it's been. It's just like, have you noticed the movie within the movie? The boxes within the box within the box within the box? And it's definitely got a hold of your main box that you do not manage. You don't even know that thing, how it works, let alone how to untwist it and flip the script away from whatever it is you're watching as the dominator that suggests that you cater to that damn thing. The quality of thoughts and everything. And it's like, what does that matter if you don't know the truth in reality? Really. Just strength in numbers. And it's like, well, what are you going to do, Shauna? Welcome to the world out there. Welcome to the world. And it's like, yeah, I know. What are we going to do? I say, what are we going to do? I happen to think that there's a lot of people that are like, they're running on this treadmill. They're like, yeah, what are we going to do? And it's like, and I'm like, yeah, no, what are we going to do? I don't want that person to suffer anymore, and I don't want me to suffer and be useless here to that person anymore, and they don't want to be useless to me, and aren't you fucking tired of being called useless, maybe? Who fucking said that? And who said that there's such a thing as essential work, right? All of this confusion, maybe it's a tug of war, maybe you heard two different languages going, I'm sorry about the, sorry. Do not ignore your calling. Whoever was born between 1969, roughly then, to around about 78, I think, check and see when Uranus went finally into Scorpio, but that was when Pluto and Uranus was in Libra. It's such a special time for humanity, to understand some things more clearly and make the technology work for us without such the bombardment of toxins that the world offers. And really, it's just what money is doing. It seems that whatever money can buy and have us do to struggle for it is so unhealthy. Because think about it, if you just wanted food, if you went and gardened, if you were in a community who was actively doing that, just knew what was around them and worked it a little better, and then provided it, everybody knows there's too much coming out of that. It's always an overflow, but what I'm saying is they would be so much more healthier, getting sun and exercise and being with Mother Nature, Virgin Nature is what it's called, your own virgin nature, which is the original, which is never not going to be this moment now. It's always going to be now, and you are, even if you didn't know it, even if you're fucked if you are a Christian, and you're fucked if you aren't. Because whatever keeps killing Jesus, whatever it is, you're at heist, and so now all of this, you just think I'm a hippie. And I'm not. I take offense to that language. I'm somebody who has long hair. There's the hippie, and it's like, no, you don't even know what the term hippie means. That was something that warlords made for you, a label that you would wear. And then what is the opposite of hippie? The police officer and the soldier and the fighters. That was the last of the draft, right? Let's talk about it. Nobody volunteers for war before then. You're a mad person. That's what they're saying in the 60s. It's like, no, love is the answer, blah, blah, blah. So what happened? They harnessed those people's minds with the whole thing. The way it's so traumatizing, and then they would all think they had an idea of their own by, well, first of all, the rock stars that would conduct the Woodstock that was just a slippery, puking mess that got away with itself because that's the way the government let you do it. You're in a fucking huge school here, and you didn't know that was part of it, right? And now you know what hippie means. It means hypocrite. Hypocrite. Hypocrisy, hypocrites. And because all of you are failing, the real way to if there's something to achieve, to really achieve peace, it's a very inner thing. And all of these people, I swear to God, they are too strung out on their education system. So then the news and that reportery, or whatever you want to call it, is there now. It's a big babysitting system. Since at least 100 years, it's just converted into, ever since it went from private schools to public school, you have just a babysitting service with, of course, narcissists love to think they're doing something for the teacher, who is the system, who says, do it like this, which is like total torture. Right? What have you learned? Why are we still starving with all that shit? People are just dispersed out, and it's like this massive war game masked in money. And when are we going to see that as a collective? Here's when when we start getting really down home, honest with ourselves, and I stick up for the woman's side, who says, "Babe, we're not interested. We can't possibly be interested now until a lot of things are cleaned up, especially your approach." You notice that you have to grab these dumb fucks by the horns and say, "Really, really, babe, what is that?" It's such a it's a repressed society. It's an oppressed society. It is a depressed society. What are we going to do about it? You're going to find a flower that's glowing and just say, get out of here. You're dirtying up the pool. Learn how to take a little drink. Is there something useful for you here? And is there something worth feeding it and to keep it, if anything, just the way it is? But really, no, everything's got to change. It's got to change for you. It's got to change for all of humanity. And I'm speaking for humanity. I am humanity, and we're going to do the right thing. Love does the right thing, and it's only love that's going to find its righteous way. And because it's Libra, because it's the communications, boy, because Uranus is going into Gemini next, let alone that Jupiter has went into Gemini. And we had a lot of downloads with these Neptune squares, even though a lot of it is going to unveil some things. It's like, babes, it's pure deception happening. They are keeping us from an aspect of reality that is, you couldn't accept it unless you just say, no, you watch your sci-fi movies and then they start maybe pointing at maybe this is the way it is. And we have yet to see. The best way to explain it is through the electrical current. There's electricity. Now, water is very electrical-like in that it conducts electricity, let's just say, and it's highly communicative. And anyway, I'll get back to the subject matter. Don't know much about it because, well, how do we live in water enough to even know? But I point at that because Neptune is in Pisces. Anyway, consider it. I'll be surprised to see people leaving their birth dates and stuff there, and me racking my brain. And it takes energy, real live human energy, to do this stuff. And so there's where it's like, I'll put my address up again, and I'm dead serious about this because, babes, it's not any different than any other kind of energy. I mean, I'm sorry that it's asking you to do it snail mail, and putting an actual like $10 or $5 bill in there, but it would help so much. See, I don't want to assume this position that the system has backed both men and women into a disgusting, degrading, hellish, fucking less than animalistic corner. And it has to do, whatever is doing that, I'm telling you, it's not our own intelligence. It's, if you want to call our own intelligence, fear, which that's not intelligent, most likely, because then, see, fear usually it's losing it. Maybe it's getting ready to die or something. And babe, I'm going from the animal kingdom. Now, we're not really that animalistic. We are human beings. We can think it through and say, no, we don't really have to die. And in fact, scientists are saying we know this much too. It's a trip. And I can just know this much just looking at my chickens. We don't die. We don't die. Darn rooster, same one, comes back and laughs at me in the face, saying, I'm the same one that you loved. And I'm still learning. How could that possibly be? How can that possibly be? Well, just have an experience beyond, and stop thinking that you know, or that you even don't know. Just be open. Just know that you're going through a life process here that you should obligate yourself every once in a while to just sit with something that's not so synthetic and fake. If anything, just right with your body. I don't know, none of my business, but um, I've done astrological readings for people on Facebook. In the beginning, I was just doing it. I think they tripped out because a lot of people want to know about their talking relationships, and that's where astrology really works right there, really good.